Hello, this is the Sideshow. I'm Theodore Parker. Today is Friday, September 16th, 2022. Temperature around here is about 57 degrees, going up to 84. Air quality is good. And sunset, 7:50 p.m. A couple of months ago, we were going all the way to 9:16 p.m. for daylight. Okay, the mask. I finally got a better explanation or clarity of thought, if you would allow me to say so, in relation to bringing this up every time I'm on the air speaking to you good people. Suggestion about the mask again: positivity rate above 5%. Wear the mask if you're going outside, being around other people. Outside, not necessarily so much, but if you're going into other buildings to handle your business, put your mask on. Now, to connect the dots on that, you get all these reports from CDC, Center for Disease Control, COVID-19, and other diseases are by definition, if infectious, can be contagious. So you have prevention, and you have treatment. Okay? So prevention is to wear the mask to bring that high number of positivity rate down, and the treatment is to help get rid of it. So that's the shot part and the booster and everything else. So, again, by definition, the mask helps prevent a high positivity rate in your area. Friday. Okay, I thought I was going to be able to leave California alone, but then it's not me. It's just the fact that there's more articles coming up in regards to robberies that involve fatalities of celebrities in music and rappers in particular. So it kind of occurred to me, not kind of, it's already been documented in other articles, that not to target so much what's going on there, although it is a fact, California, and particularly this latest thing at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles place. But I thought that should be passed on. That in one of the articles it stated that Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles was also a place for people to hang out who by reputation are not the best people to be around because of the activities they participate in. So it's like if you got maybe teenagers and older teenagers, or by definition, young people, watching people come and go, what they're wearing, what they got on, and then taking advantage of them. Okay, so this is not really so far-fetched, and it just reinforces what other celebrities are saying who are in music and in the same type of genre as rappers, but who are older, about being careful. Because it wasn't too long ago, if you remember, again from a news article, that Kim Kardashian was in Paris and she got robbed of her jewelry and some other valuables. So the media has made people aware that there are gangs, groups, people who, through social media, follow where celebrities are and try to take advantage of them by robbing them or taking their possessions or in some form or fashion obtaining their valuables. And then there was another situation where, again, musician, rapper, somebody was trying to come in his home. He was home, grabbed his pistol, got to firing, and they took off. So, the word of caution is caution, but that was kind of all relating back to how responsible was Stephanie when she aired where her and PNB Rakim were at having a meal. So you have that and you have that. But again, talking about what hits the news, what don't hit the news, it was kind of like a light bulb went on in my head earlier. And the items that go in the news, you know, you have these Hollywood movies where the journalists and reporters trying to get the editor or whoever's in charge to let him or her pursue this particular news item because they think it's hot. So the items that hit the news are those items which a person will either be willing to read, look at television, or listen to radio. Because the provider, the quote unquote newspaper, has advertisers that want to put their product in front of as many people as possible. So they want to put their product where the person's interest is, ergo, sell their product. So it's driven by advertising dollars to keep the lights on. Now, that being said, had to come to that one on my own, but it's been said over and over again anyhow. Immigrants, the immigrants. So Texas sent 2 planes of immigrants from Venezuela all the way up to Massachusetts. Left them at the airport. They had to walk 3.5 miles over to Innsbruck, Massachusetts, aka Martha's Vineyard, and be accommodated there. So this raises questions, and I can understand the process because, like I said, you know, you got to get them checked in. You got 50 people, you got to check them for COVID, you know, see who they are, do they speak in English, all the other stuff. So in taking in people that are immigrants and resetting them, everything that you and I are already taking advantage of, you know, which we're in the workforce, you know, house, clothing, shelter, food, all that we are already quote unquote enjoying, or at least have at our disposal, has to be provided and arranged for them. So there may be that in-between period where they are just quote unquote sitting around, which gives the impression that they are bringing down the property values by their lazy attitudes. If you follow where I'm thinking how things are going. So, come to find out, it's the Republican states that are sending their immigrants to the Democratic states. It's not funny, but it is still the way it works out. So Texas sent their immigrants to Massachusetts, and you have some other things going on. And Texas was also sent a couple of busloads of people to DC, and it just the way the news flavored it was like the bus pulls up, they get off, and the bus leaves. Although I'm quite sure it wasn't quite like that, but that's kind of how I got it, because they didn't give any other arrangement details. So I just kind of like wanted to put that in there, that Republican states are sending their immigrants to Democratic states based on the arrangements for sanctuary for immigrants coming into this country. Okay. So Mississippi, sports, football, Brett Favre in particular. I'm going to admit before I even speak on this one, I'm not clear about it, because here goes. Brett Favre in Mississippi is accused or has his name affiliated with taking millions of dollars in welfare funds. So I read it. So at first I thought, okay, he has been given a little over $1 million for giving speeches for Nancy New, who runs a nonprofit that he never gave. Okay, that's bad, but we just had, Trump paid some woman $60,000 to speak for 2 minutes to introduce him at one of his rallies. So it just kind of goes like it goes. All right. Then all of a sudden, because it's Mississippi and Jackson is having such a hard time with their water situation, the mayor's up, everybody's need water. Come trace it back to the former governor of Mississippi, Phil Bryant, and now we're talking about $77 million from the welfare fund. I don't know. And then there was comments about the school, his alma mater, his daughter's attending the school, a whole bunch of other stuff. And I still have not connected the dots as to how it's all going to play out. And did the governor give him $77 million? And who or what did he do that even have access to welfare funds? So you see, it's just kind of like a little murky right there, but here we go. Brett is not yet charged for the alleged crimes he has committed. The whole thing goes, new texts were revealed that showed that Brett Favre is funneling around $5 million into a new complex built in his alma mater, where his daughter also plays volleyball. Brett Favre was in collaboration with a nonprofit organization, former Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant. Okay, that's it. But everybody weighed in on Twitter. Sports shows had comments and things of that nature. But here we go. Brett is not yet charged for the alleged crimes he has committed. The welfare fund scam is a big deal, where around $77 million is not going to people who need it the most. Instead, they are scammed and deprived of their basic needs. So, yeah, I'd be a little bit upset, but I guess they'll kind of get to the bottom of it, as they say. But there's a lot of ingredients going into baking that, So, anyway, that was how that went. And since it's Friday, the weekend, and we're coming out of the summer, as I've repeated several times, getting into the fall, there's going to be more of a tendency by definition to be indoors. So your outside time is not going to be as much. So you can kind of bear that in mind and begin to adjust, however that is. Diet, exercise, all the things that I try to keep in mind. How you handle your food. And here's a classic for you, coming right out of the passing of the Queen of England. You know how King Charles was talking about, King Charles III was newly crowned, talking about how Prince Harry, properly addressed, and Meghan's role would probably be non-existent. And remember, I guess for a long time there was another member of the royal family that was not participating in activities and wearing their military uniform. So he had just got finished saying that in his coronation or crowning activities. Now he's saying that Harry will wear a military uniform for the next round of ceremonies. So I kind of took that like it is, it's still fathers and sons. And this to me is like a classic example of because I said so. So that's how that is. Harry will be wearing a uniform for the next series of events. Yeah, because I said so. Anyway, here we are, Friday, September 16, 2022. It's the weekend. That's it. Hashtag.